What's up, everyone? So, I said on my story, well, rather, I got a question in my inbox from someone who gave me some great feedback, but wanted to know some relationship advice according to their own particular situation. Now, hold on, let me link my Cash App in here. And the Cash App is not necessary. You guys don't got to Cash App me. The Cash App is simply just commission for the game that I be providing. It is just commission for the game that I'm giving y'all for free. Um, so if you can Cash App, that's hot. If not, you still get this free advice. So the question that I got in my inbox, because I assumed that she had missed my live stream. Because I tell you guys, if you're able to catch the live stream, send me your questions during the live stream. I can get your answer to you right then and there. But the question was, so what relationship advice can you give me if I love my child's father more than he loves me? I wanted to answer this on live stream because I figured more people may relate to this than just that person. So, because I know a lot of baby mamas who are sitting here going to hell and back with some dusty father. So, the first thing I want to talk about is, well, I'll give you guys a rundown of how this is finna go. I'm gonna give you an answer to that question. You didn't give me much context about it, but from based on just the sentence that I heard, you love your child's father more than he loves you, I can automatically assume that you're chasing him around like a pick me. And I don't mean to talk about you. I don't even know you. To the person who knows that they sent me this question, I promise you, I don't know you in real life. So I don't know you enough to, you shouldn't feel no type of way of what I'm about to say, because if you wanted conditioning advice, you would just ask your friends and family. But I'll get into why asking your friends and family these kind of questions will not serve you. First, we got to talk about, okay, like I said, you didn't give me much context other than what advice can I give you if you love your child's father more than he loves you. We're going to make a couple of things known. The first thing that I need you guys to understand is, what exactly are you dating for? Because if you're dating for love, then my advice will never be for you. I only give dating advice based on business. I do not give advice based on love. That's why a lot of you guys get in your feelings. That's why a lot of you guys are going crazy over these men, over broke men at that. Y'all not even going crazy over men who are providers. And then people will tell you, but men who are providers are controlling and crazy. That broke man that you with is controlling and crazy, because crazy broke people don't have nothing to lose. So when people say, they're scared to date a provider man, I really think they just have a eternalized fear of wealth or just being in a better position. So they say things like that to automatically counsel themselves out of those opportunities. But nonetheless, the first thing I want to ask to the person who asked me this question, and then to whoever else can relate to it, what exactly are you dating for? Because unless you are dating for business, meaning you only deal with provider men, meaning you'll only deal with a man who has a job, who has a career, who has good credit, who has a 401k, etc., etc., then you'll save yourself out of dealing with a whole bunch of unnecessary BS. Like I told you guys in a couple of my live streams before, which if you want to go see those live streams, they're on my YouTube channel at Ron Vugata, and you can watch them on there if you missed them on Facebook, because since Facebook is just like a timeline structure, it's harder to find the important content from my page. So it's easier if you just go on my YouTube channel to catch those full live streams. Now, once you figure out that you want to provide a man, you have to understand that just because, well, let me say it like this. I'm not going to give you guys the advice that your friends and family have gave you, to stick it out and to make it work and to stand by his side, ride or die. I told y'all in the video before, I'm not ride or die. I'm selfish. I'm very selfish to myself. And being selfish to myself has shown God, has shown the universe that if it does not benefit me, I do not want it. I do not care about it. So you got to be selfish to get anything that you want in this life. Like, yeah, you guys have kids, but your kids won't be able to progress if they're learning bad habits from you, such as overextending yourself, such as chasing behind a broke man, such as trying to get love from their father who is clearly showing you that he does not love you. If you love your child's father more than he loves you, then understand this. My advice to you is that there are only two positions in dating. It's called money and power. Men have the money, women have the power. Or if you're gay, men have the money, the gay feminine energy has the power. Because I tell y'all in a lot of my videos, men are not smart enough to make decisions that will last them a lifetime. That's why most men who are married live longer, because they have that nurturing, loving care from a woman. But that nurturing, loving care is not coming from a woman who is breaking her back to keep her man, who is trying to change her broke, dusty man to become a provider man. So my advice to the person who gave me that question in my inbox: what advice can I give you if you love your child's father more than you love yourself? The best advice I can give you is to leave him. And I say that because a lot of people will tell you to work it out. A lot of people will tell you to, stick by his side, ride or die again, all of that. Lane doesn't get you anywhere advice. And it's the same advice that those same people are giving you, that advice. They have took their own advice and you see with your own two eyes it is not working for you. So why would you stick to it? You have to leave that man if you love your child's father more than he loves you. To say that you are trying to make it work with your child's father for the sake of the children, that's not a good enough reason, because what you're doing is you're teaching your children to only accept half-ass in a relationship. Like, children are not smart enough to understand that you are sacrificing to give them an example, but the example that they're internalizing is trauma is normal. Getting verbally abused and sometimes physically, if you're in that position, is normal. Going out into the world to break your back like a man to bring him half of your check, and some of y'all giving your man the whole check. All of those things are not things that you want to teach your child to pat. That's how generational curses keep pushing on and recreating itself, right? So you have to know what you want. When you know that you want a man who will step up and provide for you, when you know that you want a man who will take care of all of your needs and show you and your children what a good household is, meaning he works all day, he brings back the check. What do you do in exchange? You stay at home with the kids all day to nurture them and give them that guidance that they need. Because honestly, in my opinion, I wouldn't put my child in no daycare center or anything like that, because for one, you do not know these teachers that they're hiring or the staff that they're hiring to put in these daycare centers. Two, you don't know what these other kids are going through at home. And once I understood like how vast a pick-me relationship extends, you truly can realize like how disastrous this world can be. You send your child to daycare with other kids who are growing up in homes with pick-me parents, a woman who's chasing her man to love her, and a deadbeat daddy. Boom. Those kids are bringing all of that trauma back to that daycare and put them on your kids. So I wouldn't do it. I'd rather stay at home with my kids and love and nurture them and teach them myself. It goes back to money and power, right? Like I said, men have the money, women have the power. There is no power, but there is no power being tied down to a man who shows you he does not love you and is also absent in your child's life. There is no power in chasing behind a man to get him to love you, because here's the thing. Well, rather, when you chase a man, your baby daddy, that means that he has all the power in the relationship, right? You stuck at home with the kids. He has free range to do whatever he wants to do because he didn't push the baby out. Even though he helped create the baby, he didn't push the baby out. You pushed the baby out. So in a man's mind, he automatically feels like because you are that feminine figure, you are more inclined to be stuck with a child. That doesn't make sense. And again, only 50-50 men, only broke men have this mindset, because if they didn't, then they wouldn't be on the internet talking about, or in real life having real life conversations with women or amongst other men talking about a man's job is to just work and split bills with a woman, and a woman's job is to work, cook, clean, and raise children. If that's the kind of man that you want, then my relationship advice ain't for you. You gotta level up to understand what I'm saying. You money and power, right? Men have the money, women have the power. There's no power in a woman being tied down to a man who she has to chase around to get child support from. There, and then even to get that child support, you got to chase him around for a DNA test to even prove that he is the child's father. A lot of y'all know who y'all father is. I mean, who the father of your child is. Some people don't know. That's okay. That's why these people require DNA testing. But even once they get excuse me, I'm sorry. I just had lunch, so I'm making the necessary sounds. But nonetheless, a lot of you guys know who the father of your child is, right? And you still go get him a DNA test, which is cool. A lot of cases you need that for a man to really, because they go off of facts, right? So they need to see the fact that scientifically proven you are the father of my child. They know this information and they're still absentee fathers. So you have no power chasing or being tied down with a man who is half-ass. He's a deadbeat. And let this be a lesson to people who are not mothers yet or who do not have kids. Do not let a man give you the okie doke. Do not let a man put you in pillow talk. Do not fall for the pillow talk. What is pillow talk? Pillow talk is when you're laying up in a bed with a man, right? And y'all booty butt naked in the bed, and he's telling you everything that you want to hear just so he can stick his community pee-peen inside you raw. That's it. That's all pillow talk is. Just a man to try to get in your ear so he can slide his community pee-peen inside you raw. And what do y'all do as women? Y'all let him pillow talk y'all into these situations where he is shooting the club up and he don't even have a job. That's why I don't care about how people will look at me and say, oh, you're a gold digger, you're a prostitute, whatever, whatever, because this advice is some of the best relationship advice any of you will ever hear. Even if you're not trying to get with a man to get married to him and you're just sleeping with him casually, he still at least needs to be a provider. He still at least needs to have a good job, for the fact that if he does have kids, it is going to be a horrible look for him to be a alpha male to his friends and family with a child that he does not even speak to, pick up and say, you know, this is my child. It is absolutely disgusting for a provider man to have offspring in this world and he does not care for them. It's not only disgusting, but it's embarrassing. You guys are having kids by these men who are doing it to have fun. And then y'all sit here and y'all say, oh, well, his karma is going to come back. He's going to get his karma. God is going to send him his karma. Let me tell y'all another harsh truth, right? I don't believe in karma. In my world, karma is not real. And I'll tell you guys this. People only believe in karma because or they believe in the notion of karma because they really can't believe that someone has really disrespected them so hard to betray the love that they had given that person. But you don't understand that this is all a game. And the reason why you women have a problem playing the game is because you don't love yourselves truly to be running behind a man to get his love and affection. And this is something, as I say, video after video, this is something that you have adopted from your friends, your family, your cousin, your uncle, your auntie. My question to you is this, or rather, it's not even a question, it's just a statement. Just because you were raised that way, it does not make it correct. It does not make it right. Just because people give you that advice and it's so common, it does not make it right, and it does not make it normal. Um, you guys are falling for the pillow talk and getting y'all club shot up and then ended up with children. Does that mean that you can't reclaim your power? You can always reclaim your power. That's the bright side. If you made it this far in the live stream, then boom, you got to hear the gems, right? That means that you truly care about yourself, right? To level up. The beautiful part about being a woman, whether you have a child or not, is that you can always reclaim your power. So my advice to the person who sent me this question, as far as, what if you love your child's father more than he loves you? The best advice I would give you is that you got to leave him and reclaim your power. It's beautiful though. It hurts, but it's beautiful. The reason why you're able to reclaim your power as a woman is because of two things that I've said multiple times already in this live stream: money and power. Men make the money, women have the power. If women didn't have power, so many men would not be dying alone in their homes. They would not be dying alone in a nursing home. So if men had all the power in the world, again, they wouldn't be out here dying by themselves with no children, no family, no nieces, no nephews surrounding them to give them that love that they need, or at least somebody will want in their final days on earth, right? Um, Men will say that, well, rather, I'm gonna teach you how to reclaim your power, right? You reclaim your power by understanding that you are the prize, even if you have a child. Because a lot of men will sit here and say, they don't want a woman who has children because she's used goods. Here's my thing about the whole used goods thing. Men will literally sleep with anything that has a hole to it. And that includes another man. I don't care what y'all say. I really don't care what anybody has to say. A man will literally sleep with anything that has a hole to it, and that will let him penetrate whoever that person is, whether you're a man or a woman. If you let a man penetrate you, and especially if he's horny enough, he will put his dingling in you, right? So, how is it that men who have community penis have such outrageous demands as to want to demand someone who has no child, who they want to demand a woman who doesn't have a child, right? If a man really doesn't want a woman that bad who has a child, he would just might as well get with a transgender. That's just plain and simple, because transgenders are the only women on earth, quote unquote, women on earth who cannot have children. And if a man tells you he's truly stuck on not having a girlfriend, or not, engaging with a woman who he would think is his wife until he finds out she has children, tell him to go get a transgender. Because the reality of it is that as we get older and we're dating, most people are going to have kids, man or woman. And here's something else I learned that's new, right? I just learned this hearing straight men literally come at me left and right. A lot of these straight men have said that it is the woman who lowers her own value. And I literally needed them to say that because it is 100% true. I have been telling y'all this. If you do not believe in your mind that you are the prize, you'll literally deal with anything that approaches you. And that's called being a pick-me. A pick-me a pick-me is literally anybody who settles for less than a man who truly steps up to the plate to provide for the household and to make life easier for you as the feminine woman in the relationship. That's a pick me. If you sit here and split bills with your man, you'll pick me. If you sit here and condition your man's feet because you sympathize with the fact that he works so hard and you feel sorry and bad that he has to work so hard, you're a pick me. God made men tough for a reason. Men have thicker skin for a reason. Men have broader shoulders for a reason. Men have muscles for a reason. And I don't care if anybody wants to say I'm a sexist or whatever, but it's just the facts. And if you don't believe in those facts, then guess what? You're going to be a woman who works hard. And I hope to God that you don't have sons, because you're doing nothing but teaching your sons that a woman's job is to literally be a man and a woman. The reason so many men feel enabled to do 50-50 and not step up to the plate is because of their moms. And not only their moms, but the girlfriends that they have, which are you women who are watching this, whoever it may be. You women who sit up here and try to be more like a mother figure than a girlfriend. The only difference between you and his mama is that you give him coochie. That's the only difference. The only difference. It used to take a village, right, to raise a child. Longer time ago. It used to take a village long time ago to raise a child. The reason I say that is because a man who really has money, a man who really is a provider and is excellent in his career, 6-figure income, or whatever you deem as provider, right? Because you could be living in the projects and your man can sit here and pay all of your project bills, light, electricity, water, gas, whatever entails. I heard some noise in the background. I was trying to make sure I was hearing things right. But whatever entails being a provider man in your world, you can have whatever you want, but as far as it goes down to settling for a dusty broke man who is also the father of your child, you gotta let him go. Because then you leave no room for a provider man to come in and step up to the plate. Not all heroes wear capes. Not everyone who literally is a how do I want to say it? Not everyone who is a good figure, a provider figure. Not all heroes wear capes. That's literally as simple as you can keep it. Not all heroes wear capes. And when you have someone who is literally stepping up to the plate to take care of children who are not his, it literally doesn't do anything but create that village that you guys love to talk about. Because again, it takes a village, or at least it used to take a village to raise a child, right? When men step up and understand that it takes a village and that it is a community mindset, they sit here and talk about women who have kids and they don't want to deal with a woman who already has kids by another bum. But here's my thing. That same bum of a father will leave that woman and go to another woman who doesn't have kids and say the same exact thing. Oh, you don't have kids? Well, I want to put a baby in you. Leave her, go to another woman. Next thing you know, this man has 3-4 kids all around the community and doesn't want to take care of any of them. But you know what I do say? I don't have sympathy for single moms, because only way I have a true sympathy for you if you're a single mom is if you're widowed. That's really it. Because you women are falling for the okie doke, and you're falling for the pillow talk and opening your legs and letting these men put a baby in you without no credentials. If your goal with a man when you meet him is to try to upgrade him and level him up, then literally y'all have switched roles. Y'all have switched roles. He is literally the feminine and you are the masculine. It is crazy how men will say that they only want a woman who will build with them. They love an independent chick. And then they get with that woman, and the woman always ends up 9 times out of 10 doing way more for the man than she's supposed to, out of love, correct? When you're in that situation, you understand that, boom, there isn't enough love in this world to make me want to waste my time while I'm in my prime. As a woman, if you're a woman watching this, there isn't enough love in the world to have me sit down in my prime to build with a man off some hopes and dreams. Because y'all fall for this pillow talk that's wrapped up in hopes and dreams, and then get left and looking cross-eyed. Once he's told you everything that he's told you, to get in your pants, to shoot the club up, and you raw. After all of that honeymoon phase has left off and went away, boom, now y'all sitting here single mothers on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, saying how, oh, I'm an independent mom, I'm the mom and the dad. Y'all got y'all kids out here saying, my mom is the mom and the dad. That's not right. It's not right, and it isn't correct for a woman to have to feel like she has to be the masculine and the feminine at the same time. Because if that was the case, we all would just be born hermaphrodites, correct? It takes a village, right, to raise a child. So when a man tells you that, he doesn't want to deal with a woman who already has kids, understand that he's in a scarcity mindset. He's in a mindset of crabs in a bucket, because in a perfect world, these men will understand that it does take a community to raise a child, and that for whatever reason, you decided that you love yourself enough to leave your child's father for yourself, right? For the mental stability of yourself. Because how can a mom raise a child if she is mentally depressed, if she is mentally in a whole different world, in a whole different matrix? When you understand that it does take a village, or when men understand that it takes a village to raise a child, they'll step up to the plate and be a hero. Because I bet you this, your kids will grow up to respect men who take care of other women and their children that are not theirs, more than they'll respect a man who says that he doesn't want a woman who has kids. In some cases, yeah, a man is, well, not in some cases, in all cases, men are entitled to get what they want, right? But that also means that they can't complain when a woman says that she wants to provide a man. If a man says that he only wants a woman who, if a man says that he only wants a woman who doesn't have kids, well, a woman is just as entitled to say that she only wants a man who pays all the bills. That's plain and simple. And you know what? Like I said before, for men who are really stuck on the fact that they only want a woman who doesn't have kids, believe me, in my opinion, he's talking about a transgender, because them the only women who are really sitting here portraying themselves as women, giving the illusion of a woman, but cannot physically literally have kids. So if he deals with a transgender, he knows for a fact they're not bringing no kids to the table. That's why you gotta watch, what these men say, because men are not smart. They have just dumped women down so much to the fact that you guys don't think about reading between the lines. Men are not really that smart. I keep telling y'all that. Another reason why men wouldn't want a woman with kids is because they simply just can't afford it. They simply can't afford it. A man who really has money like that, okay, a man who really is a provider and is good in his career, isn't fucked up about no woman with no kids. Look at Russell Wilson. Look at Cat Williams. Look at all these different men in your community who take care of children that aren't theirs. Look at these single fathers out here who step up to the plate to take care of their kids. Okay? It's nothing for them to give your child $20 for some Roblox money. It's nothing for these men to give your child $20 or to bring home a game because they stopped at Best Buy or Target to bring your child a game to play while while you and his mama do whatever y'all do. Have dinner, have conversations, go out to eat, whatever, whatever. A man who has money to pay for a babysitter. You need someone to watch your kids? Well, guess what? Here's some babysitter money. A man who has money isn't fucked up about no woman who got kids. And if anything, a real man would respect a woman who has kids, because wasn't y'all just saying a couple of years ago that a woman should be running the United States of America? So you mean to tell me that a woman with kids is good enough to run the whole United States of America? Because she understands nurturing, she understands money, she understands meeting the bottom line, but she's not good enough to be in a date or marry. You mean to tell me that you women will sit here and and be with a man happily who has multiple kids, but because he chose you, because you have no kids, you're proud of that? Y'all got y'all mind twisted, and y'all need to catch up and play the game and stop falling for the okie doke. Here's some things I want to tell you right now. If you walk out the house, right, and your man is not worried about you leaving him, you are not the prize. If you walk out the house with a bonnet and some Crocs and slides on, you are not the prize, because your man knows that ain't no other man gonna step up to you and want that. He got you at your best and tore you down to make you the very cheapest he can make you. And what does he get in exchange? You constantly running up behind him to get his validation for his bum broke love. You running up behind him to appease him so he doesn't leave you to go sleep with some other woman. Which, why do you care? He isn't paying none of your bills. He isn't doing any job applications. If the most money your man has made was at the plasma center, you need to leave. You need to block him and tell your child that, you know what, this is your new daddy. This man who is providing for us is your new daddy. And I promise you, those children will grow up and say, Mama, I don't blame you. Because like I said, when you try to work out relationships with these bums, they will sit here and traumatize you and the entire household. Your children are being affected by that, and you're thinking you're doing it for the sake of the kids. Those kids are gonna grow up the same way. I'm pretty sure you watching right now can think back about all of your childhood traumas. All of the childhood traumas that your mama thought, or your daddy, whoever, thought that it was not going to affect you, and turns out it affected you deeply way into your adulthood. That's why I say in the beginning of this live, the advice for baby moms who are dealing with deadbeat fathers is you got to understand what you want in a relationship. There are two factors: money and power. Men make the money, women hold the power. If you guys don't understand that, you're going to keep doing these circles of a relationship and never get nowhere. And my thing is yeah, why would you want to be with someone who shows you consistently that he doesn't fuck with you? Why would you want to be with someone who shows you back to back to back to back that he's not going to break his back to make sure that you are a priority in his life, that you are comfortable, that you have food to eat, that you have clothes on your back, that you have electricity in your house? He does not care. Tell a man that you finna get evicted out of your house, and I bet you he leave you, and I bet you he already has another pick me in his inbox ready to shelter him. And he's gonna give her the game until she finally comes across one of my videos and says, wow, I've been dealing with this bum broke dusty man all because I've been trying to fulfill a void within myself. You know, they the best way for you to replace your child's father is to truly just level up, level up, level up, level up. And if you don't know how to level up, go find my video It's on my Facebook and it's also on my Instagram. It's titled "How to Get a Leave." Stop chasing. That's what it's called. It's called "Stop Chasing Broke Men If You Want a Provider Man." You need to go watch that video if you want to level up, level up, level up. But here are some basic rundowns on leveling up. You have to leave your house looking good. You have to leave your house feeling confident. You have to be the most confident person in the entire world that anybody has ever encountered. Even when you feel like you don't have confidence in yourself to truly, operate in that energy, you still have to walk out the house. You still have to leave your home every single day feeling like Beyonce, Jay-Z, Oprah, whoever you think is just so highly confident. You have to walk out with that energy. Or as I call it main character energy. You have to know that can't nobody compete with you. You have to know that you are born with a purpose, and that nobody can replicate the purpose that God has put into your life. Even when you feel like you are the lowest person on earth, even when you feel like you are depressed, I never speak depression in my life. I never say depressed in my vocabulary, but a lot of you claim to be depressed, right? Even if you feel that way, every time you leave the house, your energy has to be confidence. Because what if you run into a man who is literally the perfect provider man for you, and just so happened on that day you walked out the house with a bonnet on. Now he think you ratchet. Just so happened you walk out the house, if you're gay, with a do-rag and some Adidas slides on. Now he think you ratchet. And to be honest with you, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna end this live stream on this piece of advice, because maybe I might have to do a whole separate live stream for people who want dating advice as far as comes to being a single parent and dating, right? It's being a single mom and you're looking for a provider man. The biggest advice is, besides leaving that man, your baby daddy, because he's no longer serving you, because we all know every time you double back into a relationship that you knew that you had the strength one time to leave, every time you double back, you lose your power, because you're not doing nothing but telling these men, oh yeah, she's gonna break up with me, she gonna leave me for a moment, and then she's just gonna double back around and then give me some. All I gotta do is just say, baby, baby, baby. Baby, 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 I love you. I miss you, baby, baby, baby. I went out here and I ain't found nobody like you, baby, baby, baby. The difference is, and that may be true. That may be very true, but understand that when a man says that he hasn't found anything like you, it's not a compliment. It's not a compliment, because you damn right your man came in my inbox trying to talk to me and I rejected his ass, because I'm not finna take care of no man. I'm not finna split bills with no man. So if you think that it's a compliment for a man to double back on you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, understand that you just look dumb and foolish. That wasn't the advice I wanted to give. For you single mothers, I want to end the advice on this. I think I said this in a status about a month ago, right? Rule number 1 when it comes to dating a provider man: you never tell the men that you're dating that you even have kids in the first place. That's rule number 1. Okay, you never tell these men that you have kids in the first place, and I'll tell you why. A couple of reasons. One, is a man trying to date you, or is he trying to date your kids? 2, you keep trying to sell your kids to all of these different men. Meanwhile, you do not know who is a predator, who is a pedophile. That's why I'm telling you guys this. It may sound crazy as hell to you. It may sound wild as hell to y'all. But I promise you, you have to stop telling these men that you're on dates with that you have children. Because this world is crazy. And again, when you keep pitching your kids as being a man has to love me and my kids. Let me tell you something. The man has to fall in love with you first before he can fall in love with your kids. If a man, in my opinion, this is just my opinion now, if a man sits here and shows more interest in your kids than he does you, then you may have a pedophile in your face. Y'all might not want to hear it. It may have pissed some of y'all off, but it is the simple truth. There's a difference from a man giving you money and taking care of you and your kids simply because he wants your time. He wants to experience who you are as their mother. Okay? You as a mother, though, is different from the kids. There's a difference between a provider man and that instinct, and then a man who's solely stuck on your kids. When you have a man who's solely stuck on your kids, you tell me what that sounds like it'll end like. It sounds like a child that's gonna wake up at 2, 3 in the morning being touched. All for the simple fact that you as the mom was so desperate that you needed to have a man in your household. And then you were so blind by him, blind by the facts that he was so thirsty to being so involved in your kid's life. Now he being touched. Now your kid's being touched. If you really want to know if a man loves you or not, if you really want a man to accept your kids, this is how you do it. You make him fall in love with you first. And it's that simple. Because when a man falls in love with you, he will take literally any and everything, all of that baggage that a lot of people love to talk about. Once a man falls in love with you, then I promise you, he will take any and everything that comes along with being with you. Kids, any sicknesses, like, God bless anybody who has cancer. God bless you folks, okay? Because I know that's very tough. And, well, I don't know because I don't have cancer. But still, I can't imagine a life like I've just seen the videos, okay? And it seems pretty tough, So God bless you guys. But, a man who really loves you will sit here and accept you for any and everything that you have, as long as you are the feminine woman that he has been looking for, but he could not find in any other woman. A lot of you people see these provider relationships, and sometimes y'all see a man with a quote unquote ugly woman, whether she's a big girl, which if you're a big girl watching this, please understand that provider men do not care about the size of your body. What they do care about is just your general health. That's it. But in totality, they do not care about the size of your body. Because a real man is going to want a big woman before he wants a sexy man. Does that make sense? A real man would rather sleep in a bed with a big woman than get in a bed with me. If he's a real man, a straight man rather, let me say it like that. If he's a straight man, somebody like me could never get a man's community peeping on hard like a big woman. So if you're a big woman, stop putting yourself down for being big. Just eat healthier. That's it. And that's the biggest thing. I'm not telling you to lose weight. I'm telling you to love however you're presenting yourself, love it. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Just make sure that when you're presenting yourself as best as possible. You look classy. Your actions and your attitude is classy. Here's the motto for me, right? I am bougie and classy. I don't care if people think I'm arrogant. I don't care if people think I'm Hasididi. That's exactly the impression that I want people to have, because only broke people translate that as arrogance. Only broke people translate that as Hasididi. You ever realize how people with poverty mindsets will sit here and say, oh, rich people are mean and rich people are bitches and are so entitled. And then you build, let me say because I don't know if you guys have been in these positions. And then I get in these positions around these wealthy people, and they're literally some of the most caring, loving, nice people. Why is that? Because they're not tied down to struggle life. They have their finances are not affected to understand, waking up with an attitude over some money. When you have money, you're free to do anything that you want to do. You're free to just live and have fun. You may stop at Six Flags if you ride past it in Georgia. Meanwhile, You in the car with your kids in Georgia, Tennessee, wherever it's a Six Flags at, and y'all ride past Six Flags, y'all gotta make a complaint about it. Oh, it's not even that fun to be paying all that money. Six Flags is literally a blast. Disney World is literally a blast. What do you mean? You just have to you guys are just turning positives into negatives because you just aren't in those positions. That's why you're gonna stay crabs in a bucket because you don't up talk the things that you want. You don't up talk the people that you want to be around. I never down talk rich people because I knew I wanted to be just like them. I never said rich people were mean because I've always experienced them. So you know, I don't see any comments, so I just wanted to give that tidbit of advice for the person who sent me an inbox, um, concerning to the person who sent me an inbox wanting to know what could she do about her loving her child's father more than she loves him. To just wrap it up plain and simple, leave him. Because a lot of times the damage is already too done. And it's better just boom. Y'all women will sit here and literally be scared to do the same advice that these men have been doing to y'all for years on top of years. Leave that man. Because when a man wants something different, when a man wants somebody else, whether you have his child or not, that man is gonna leave you. Whether he does it behind the sheets, behind doors, closed doors, and you don't know about it, that man is going to leave you regardless. So stop being scared to do the same thing to him, especially if it's not serving you. If it's not serving you, leave him. Because most of the time, the damage has already been done. It's like you guys have a water bottle like this, right? A water bottle like this. You see how when you try to put it back, it's still crunkled up and all of that. Okay, my polish is chipped, so don't talk about it. But nonetheless, the damage is done. What are you gonna do trying to, and there's so many people in this world, just go start fresh, just like a man would do. These men would sit here, put a baby in you, leave you, and then go start fresh with another woman. Do the same thing. Leave him, go start fresh with another man, because the thing about men is they need to chase. They love to chase. And if you make it too easy and if you make yourself too accessible to a man, he doesn't feel no reason to chase you. You already there. I mean, do you guys go looking at cars that you've already bought at the dealership? If you already bought yourself a Mercedes G-Wagon, are you still going to look at more Mercedes G-Wagons if you already bought one? No. You're going to continue to chase something until you have it. And here's the key tip. A man never really has you. So, or at least that's the vibe and the energy that you need to be giving off. So if you love your man more than he loves you, then you need to leave him. Or if it's worth trying to save the relationship because he is a provider, like he pays all of your bills, which I highly doubt. Because what man would sit here and have his woman inboxing me talking about I love him more than he loved me. So I highly doubt he paying all your bills. But if he is paying all of your bills, then you know what you need to do. You need to dress up every single day, walk outside the house, and make him think. Even if you just going to Dollar General, I do it all the time. You know how many times my sister see me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and she'll be like, "Where you going?" And I'm like, "I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to get some gas." And she like, "You dressed up to get some gas?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you never know who you're gonna run into and see, including any ex. And when your ex sees you leveled up like that, doing better than him, because that's all it is. Men treat you a certain kind of way, like he doesn't care about you anymore, because then he truly accepts that you can't do better than him. Once you make that man know that you can do better than him, it's called leveling up. Once you get your man to understand that you can do better than him and find a man better than him, then he'll start chasing you. Then he will be trying to be all up in your line, trying to, "Hey baby, what you need? What bills you need, because I don't want to lose you to no other man who's gonna pay all of your bills. But understand that if he isn't already doing that, leave him, kiss it goodbye, because then you're gonna take that advice and think that I'm trying to tell you to build with a man. No, I don't run off of hopes and dreams. I run off of actions and right now. What can you do for me right now? If right now I can give you my prime love, my prime attention, my prime attractiveness, then at the same time I need you to give me a prime rent money, a prime car note money, a prime shopping money, everything. I need everything provided. I'm not running off of hopes and dreams, because when you're with me, you're not running off of the hope and dream that one day I may look good. When you're with me, you're not running off of the hope and dream that one day I may shut the fuck up and let you lead like a man. When you're dealing with me, you're not hoping for the fact that I'm not finna entertain no other man when we're out in public. So, because of that, there are certain things that I demand back, and it's called a provider man. With that being said, I hope this helped. If you guys have questions, you can send it to me and I'll answer it on live stream. I love you guys. And also, if you want to learn how to level up, you can find the video on my Facebook, but it'll be easier to find on my YouTube channel because YouTube is a video platform, so everything is structured better. Go on my YouTube channel, go find the video, stop chasing broke men if you want to provide a man, and you will get a provider man. Because again, I say this all the time, I'm not speaking off of just hoopla. I'm not pulling ideas out of the ether. This is my experience. I know these things. So with that being said, I love you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.